Sunday, snow day. Oh my gosh. So pretty.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
So pretty.
But yeah, would you guys? You said you got like 3 inches, 3.5.
Yeah, something like that. You
Yeah,
guys too?
yeah, about the same. Well, I was waiting, and then finally, well, I had to get up at 3 o'clock this morning, or 3:20 this morning, and then I looked out, so I go, yeah, there it is. So, my niece and her boyfriend flying back to Hawaii. We got a
Wow.
picture of them in the snow at 3:15 in the morning. So,
Perfect. They got just a little dose of it. Love it.
yeah, they're like, and this is why I moved to Hawaii.
Well, hello to anyone who's out there tonight. It's Sunday, and this is Mo and Katie hit record and see what happens, which is indeed what we do.
Yeah. I was
So,
going to tell you though, my niece and her boyfriend were very helpful because you and I have um, finally figured out a name for the thing that we do
yes, we have.
that I think that makes us different. And what is the name of that?
So, let me back up a little bit. No, I know the
Oh,
answer. So,
well, that was a test. You're right.
Mo and I have been socializing and attempting to trademark and all of these things the term schwack. We love the word schwack because we have figured out through the process of a lot of things that schwack is at the base of what we do for everything. Schwack means seen, heard, understood, appreciated, and connected. And we realize that those are all core important human needs and the heart of a lot of what we do. But while we were recently away on some training, which you may have seen us last week from the airport, which was fun, we got a little more insight on that. And that is something that we call the full stop movement. It's a movement, people. We're
That's right.
starting a movement.
Get moving and stop. Yeah, I think the full stop movement, I mean, there's a little bit of contradiction in terms, which is why I love it all the more. So,
Mm, a little, what do they call that? Like
Allentown,
jumbo shrimp or like,
military intelligence,
yeah, what are those called?
contra, no, not contradiction.
No, they're called something.
Shoot, what the hell are they
Somebody's
called?
screaming it at the screen right now. Freudian slip? No, that's not it.
Only if you're wearing a skirt, then you should wear a Freudian slip. Well, as long as the slip is your mother's.
Nice.
If it's not one thing,
It's
it's
not an
my mother.
it's not an onomatopoeia. It's gonna drop in one of our brains when we're not thinking about it.
Good.
So
I hope it's at 2 in the morning.
anyway, full stop movement. And that was brought about because when these moments happen in your life where you are doing something to make someone feel schwacked, or if someone has made you feel seen, heard, understood, appreciated, connected, everything stops for just a second and you take a moment to appreciate that. So I'm excited about it.
I am too. So the full stop. And and what I like about it too is and I think the more we've kind of sat on it and chewed it, which sounds like a weird thing to do, like it's gum or something, but the more or your cut, but the more that we've sat with it,
Be careful, they spit.
yeah, bing, everything that we do when we're on stage emceeing or even when we're on stage doing a variety show and entertaining,
Hmm.
all the ways that you and I lean into the weird and all the ways that you and I try to up level and elevate what we
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
the full stop is the best way to explain it. Now, in it, what happens in that full stop is the being seen, heard, understood, appreciated, and connected.
yeah,
Um, but it's like life goes on and life is happening. You take this moment to full stop, whether you're full stopping to schwack somebody else or you're being full stopped because someone is schwacking you. And in that momentary pause, it's a deliberate pause, it's a pause with intention, and then life continues on. It's what you learn from that and how you carry that on. But
yeah.
I just published an article today about slowing down to go faster, and that it's interesting because I think especially today because I can have four screens with my phone, my iPad, my computer, and the monitor. And we have all these ways that we can be productive and faster, and it's go, go, go. And how much more can we multi-purpose and multitask? But there's a really something beautiful that happens when we just stop. It doesn't have to be, for a 10-day silent retreat, because you and I both know we couldn't make it 10 seconds in that retreat. But
Yeah.
before we get kicked out, does that kind of stress you out a little bit? Just the
Um,
thought of a 10-day silent retreat?
just the thought of it. Yeah,
Anyway, but I
seriously.
think there's something beautiful that happens in that moment, and that's where the connection happened. And I was trying to think, when we MC things, and again, we love a theme, so even if there isn't a theme, we will give you one.
Well, we'll
Uh,
come up with one.
yeah. But what's cool is the theme is actually in there. Like when we look at somebody's run a show, like we're working on an event right now for 2027 for Athena, and so we have the run a show.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because when that run a show's happening, you can actually see the theme. It kind of elevates
It
out of the,
rises up out of all of
it's
the other
like a phoenix from the ashes.
rising.
Not that your run a show is an ash. Bet your ash it is. But anyway,
I knew that was coming.
yeah, well,
Full,
nope.
nope.
But I think like so I'm thinking about like when we did Region 19 Show of Champions, their theme for the weekend was paint the town. And so you and I went full
We were like,
on,
yes, please hold my beer.
yes, hold my palette, right? We had like a French painter, Monet, Van Gogh. I mean,
Bob
I,
Ross.
what?
Bob Ross.
Oh
You were
yeah,
at
I'm
Bob
sorry.
Ross.
All I heard was all bras, and that was not what you
No,
said.
that wasn't it.
Anyway,
But Full Stop also makes me think of the TED Talk that you did in 2019. And one of your points was to pull your head out. And
that's
if
really a
we,
more poetic way and a
yeah,
kinder, gentler
that checks.
Hallmark,
Sounds like
Hallmark movie, rom-com way of saying the full stop.
But if you pull your head out, if you take them, you're not going to catch the full stop opportunity if you are buried in your phone or if you're on autopilot or if you're just letting your mind wander either in the past or the future and not being in the present.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm determined that I regret all of the full stop moments that I've missed. And I'm
Yeah.
determined that I don't want to miss anymore. I want to
Yeah.
pay attention and I want to be present and take the time to have that connection because connection is just the lifeline between all of
Yes.
us.
Well, and you were really good at this. You always say like we'll be I don't know, we can be sitting you and I can be sitting in traffic and singing karaoke at the top of our lungs and
Which we
not
do.
moving in the traffic, and you will look at me and you'll like you said this is a perfect moment. Like those are full stop recognitions too, because you're just like, yeah, we literally are stopped because we can't go anywhere. But to be able to recognize and just say, this moment right here, everything else doesn't exist, but there's two best friends sitting in a car on a road trip, singing at the top of our lungs. That is a perfect moment. That is a full stop moment. So again, everything that the more I've looked through this with my own work and even with your work, what you do on the bench with your voice or piano or ukulele or performance or your vocal health, any of your clients, you create full stop moments because you a lot of time and what I love about the way you teach too is there are like some mechanical things that have to happen with your vocal folds when they do this and they're not warmed up.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Vocal folds don't do this.
Not all of them.
That
Some of
was
them
so close to being scientifically accurate. I just gotta
mine are different. Anyway,
my vocal folds did, and you're doing something wrong.
like a seal. No, but I mean, you have about 17 different ways you can tell somebody to get the same result. Because I always think about that in school, like, some teacher would say it this way, say it this way. Another teacher say it this way, say it. I'm like, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand. And then someone will say, "Well, do it this way," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, well that I get." Well, it's kind of like the barn thing, right? It's like, why didn't anybody teach me to
Yeah,
fly through a barn when I landed? It was that different technique, and you do that really, really well.
thank you.
Um, and again, that's what I love bringing on stage when we get to MC
Oh
is
my gosh.
is just that creative process of finding a theme, finding the wigs and the costumes that have to go with it. I own way more
Our wig
costume
budget.
pieces than in wigs than I ever thought I would, but
Our wig budget. Our budget line last year for wigs. You don't
Yeah.
even want to know.
Crazy. Yeah. If we get audited by the IRS, it's going to be for our
They're
wig
like, no,
budget.
we need to talk about this line right here. Excuse me, it looks like a misprint. It looks like it says wigs. We're like,
I'm
that is
sorry, that should
wi-
say hair.
that is exactly what it says. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I was thinking, so what are some of the ways that we have created full stop moments in the way we have executed a runner show or the script that we made from a runner show? What are some ways that we did that?
well, and any way that we, this is what our TEDx talk was about, any way that we can disrupt monotony. So
Yeah.
you're stopping things from happening the way they always go and
Ooh, I
making
like that.
it something really special. And I think that's finding the special. And you know what? It doesn't have to be something crazy. Oops. Hold on. Somebody's notifications are coming through. Do not disturb on. Okay. Sorry about that. Um, my bad. Um, sorry, I forgot what I was saying. But anything that you do to disrupt business as usual.
Yep.
Anytime you and I get to be up on stage, and I know we're going somewhere different than this, but this is where my brain is right now. Anytime
I
you
don't
and I
even
get
know
up
where we're
on
going, so I'm
stage
just along for the ride, but I'm glad you're driving.
and someone is expecting the MCs to be dry, someone is expecting the MCs to just go, okay, next, blah, blah, blah. And we can bring that fun and bring that unexpected element and make people look forward to what's between the speakers instead of just using it as a bridge to get from one to the next. But yeah, there are a lot of ways we do that. We do a lot of bespoke material, so a lot of personalized. Mo is a really, really good stalker. Probably shouldn't say that out loud, but Mo's a really good
Hey man,
stalker.
lock your profiles down.
It's not her
Well,
fault.
I mean, so okay, so funny story, and I think we've talked about this before, but for we emceed TEDx Columbiana this past September, and it must have been 5, 6 months before the talk. I mean, we looked at all the time we put into prepping for TEDx Columbia before we even got to Ohio. But
Yeah.
one of the things we did is at the time there were 14 speakers, and we reached out and we had a 30-minute, at least 30-minute call with every single speaker. Just and what we said was we wanted to expedite the hug. We wanted to be able to when we all got to because it's such a stressful couple 3 days once you get there, rehearsal, dress rehearsal,
Yep.
the performance, the dinner, and the high five, and we're
It's a,
out.
yeah, it never stops. It was a
Yeah.
non-stop event.
But we had these calls with people, and then that facilitated, conversations or text messages or emails or, just we had the Zoom call first
Yep.
so that we could, see each other. And then, I mean, we were talking to some guy from Josh was from Norway, but he was in Lithuania or Estonia when we called him.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
yeah. But when we did that, we got to know them beyond just their LinkedIn bio, and we got to know them beyond just their talk. And their talk made a lot more sense to us because we knew the character behind that. And I love that we do that. And that's one thing I love that we always do is, and it made me think too, is we had the Women's Leadership Symposium icebreaker for 350 people. So we made a custom trivia deck
Yeah.
of all the keynote speakers, and of course then we had someone challenge us on our answer,
It's a
but
whole
that
other
was
story.
that's a whole nother
When
story.
we want people to be, when they're in a situation, feel themselves be made special and put a spotlight on them because they deserve that. So
Yeah.
making someone a trivia question, like, how would you like to be in a group and you hear a trivia question and you realize, like, oh, wait a second, that I'm the answer. That's me. I know him.
Yeah. Santa. Yeah, and
That was
I
very
love
seasonal. That was a very seasonal movie quote of you.
well, I've already watched Spirited twice this week, so
Yes, I'm getting
but
ready to. I'm getting
yeah,
ready
no,
to watch it.
I love that, and that's why I think one of the things we wrote in our full stop manifesto, and if you want to see the manifesto, email us. I'd be happy to send it to people.
Yeah.
But one of the things we wrote is the full stop prioritizes the human over the
Mhm.
task, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
and again, it's about being there with that person. And I was talking to a friend of mine who met up with a family member, and the family member was on the phone the entire time. And it's like, okay, I get that you probably have a task to do. And so you think you're being present with that person that you're texting or on the phone with,
Yeah.
but you're missing an opportunity of somebody who's in real life with you. And I think That's how the full stop shows up in real life. And in fact, I was having dinner with April, and we actually played Azul. I taught April how to play
Oh,
Azul.
good.
She is fast. She picks it up real fast.
Good. Good.
But and then we were just sitting talking over coffee, and her phone was on the table, which phones are always on the table. But what really stands out is she picked her phone up and she put it in her back pocket. She goes, "Sorry, I don't want my phone on the table while we're talking."
Hmm.
And I was like, that was a pretty big signal. I took mine and I kind of put it on the bench too because
Like, yeah, me too.
well, it's like one less thing that can pull you away from the talk. Wait, it's not like we were talking about, I mean, world peace and hunger, but I mean,
Oh,
just the trivial stuff.
normal lunch discussion.
But yeah, over coffee. But again, that was a way that I would like to now going forward kind of go, okay, if my phone's on the table, there's even like a psychological thing that, oh, I might get a call, so I need to be ready for it. So I'm like, I'm gonna make sure my phone is out of view when I'm trying to do that and connect with somebody. So
Yeah.
just little things like that. I think
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities, and I'm learning every day because I'm not always fully present.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
anyway.
again, to something I mentioned earlier, it's we can spend time worrying about the future or perseverating about the past when there's a present going on right now.
Mhm.
And I struggle with that too, but trying really hard to be in the present
Yeah.
and trying to capture those moments, whether uh, I had a really good lesson with a kid that is just really super talented tonight, and I took some
Was it
videos
me?
of her
Oh
singing.
no.
Well, second talented only to you. Uh, just took some videos of her singing, and I love when I'm in the moment playing the piano and I'm realizing how much I enjoy being able to play the piano for these kids singing live. Like I have so much live music in my life. It's ridiculous
That's
and
awesome.
amazing. But like when they sing really well and I get goosebumps, like those moments and I get the chance to speak into their lives and tell them how I see them working hard and how I can hear them improving. And
Hmm.
because with voice, you don't always hear it because it happens over such a long span of time.
Yeah.
And plus these are kids. I don't know that they're totally dialed in all the time. So
Yeah.
that's another way full stop. Like the more you and I talk through full stop and dissect it and stretch it and poke holes in it and try to figure out exactly what it is, the more areas I see it
Yeah.
showing up and how important it is to recognize, like you said, those perfect moments, recognize when someone makes you feel schwacked.
Hmm.
And that's one reason I love that you and I do a lot of bespoke stuff when we do emceeing because it makes people feel schwacked. It makes them feel like we didn't
Oh,
just
yeah.
come here to get up on stage
Yeah.
and, you know, dance monkey and like do all that. But we came here because we understand who you are and what you're about. You just did a keynote last week and it was a repeat keynote. And one of the reasons I think they hired you back is because you took that company's values and made it part of your presentation.
Yeah.
And that was a full stop moment for them. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited. It's
what's so surprising is after I did it the first time, they go, no one's ever used our guiding principles before, and I'm like, that's like they're and the thing is the guiding principles that this company has, they're like, do unto others, like the golden rule,
yeah, yeah,
the devil's in the detail, the devil and the angels in the details. I'm like, they're guiding principles. Like I actually use them now because they are that universal. And I'm like, how could somebody come in and speak and not? I mean, that's the speech just writes itself, It's like, so yeah, but that comes with my stalking. But
of course it is. Oh, you're a good stalker.
I
You're
love it
good.
though. Well, yeah, I was told by one person not to say stalking because it implies an illegal element. So
Well,
anyway, but I get it. Um, but I love,
just
I
don't run
love,
for office and you're good.
yeah, yeah. Well, but I love researching and kind of finding out about the client or the speaker or just in a way it's kind of like finding out what makes them tick because you can like I'll go look up somebody on LinkedIn and I'll see they're all buttoned up thing and then I'll kind of go to Facebook or to Instagram or just search in images and you find out like they're an avid dog person or they're like cancer research is their big thing. Like that's important to know because you can it changes how you talk to them and it changes how you can also find a connectivity, like, well, you had a student come back and you found out that the student was formerly nannied by my niece. I
I was
mean,
just
that comes
thinking
from
about that.
researching. Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever anybody, just spoiler alert, anybody out there hits me up for lessons, if you message me on Facebook, I'm going straight to your profile. But yeah, this woman reached out to me. We had one mutual friend, and it was your niece, who I had not met yet. I just met her for the first time this past weekend, actually. But she and I were already friends because of the Mo connection and all of that. And so I messaged her and I said, if you don't mind me asking, how in the world do you know, Allie? And she's like, oh, she was my son's nanny when he was a baby. I was like, well, her aunt is my best friend. It was just bizarre.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny about I think a lot of people have mixed feelings about social media and all this other stuff, and I do too. But I also don't post political and mildly offensive stuff. Yes, but not like I use it
Only
because it's
mildly.
social. But it's so interesting. So Chrissy, our friend Chrissy, and have you met Chrissy in person? Oh yeah,
Yes. Oh,
obviously in pictures. Yeah, our
she did
photographer.
our, yeah, she's done our pictures on at least two,
Yeah.
at least two occasions. Yeah.
So I know Chrissy because I worked with her husband Bob, and when I was working in Virginia in Roslyn, and Bob wasn't on Facebook, but his wife was, and so just again getting to know people outside of the 9 to 5 time, and
Yep.
so I knew that every Thursday was date night. I knew that Chrissy ran 5 miles a day. I knew that she had a boxer and a cat. Like there was all this stuff I knew about their life just
Mhm.
through that lens and just through interacting on or commenting and things like that, like being social on
Sure.
social media.
Imagine that.
So then I had a party at my house for the office, and Chrissy and her husband Bob, who I worked with, came up and gave Bob a hug, and I gave Chrissy a hug, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm so glad you're here. She goes, it's so nice to finally meet you. I'm like, what? That was the first time we had met in person, but I felt like I knew her because I knew so much about what was important to her, exercise,
Yeah.
keeping her relationship alive, and like her dog and her cat, and that she
Yeah.
was a photographer. Like, there's so much information you can glean about more than just the buttoned up LinkedIn bio, and I think that's how I use it. But of course, going back to TEDx, and again, I think we talked about this. We were doing one of our calls with Holly Higgins, who is a beautiful human being,
She is.
beautiful, and has a very, very powerful story about losing her son to an
Mhm.
IED in Afghanistan. Um, I think he was only 23,
Yeah,
very
sounds
young.
about
But so again, ahead of the call, I knew a little bit about her. I knew her name, so I looked her up. She had a podcast. She was a mindfulness expert, a yoga instructor. So I had all this, and so when you and I went to go do the call, I had up on a separate screen. I had the picture of Holly. I had the name of her podcast. I even listened to a couple episodes of her podcast just to get a feel for it. Then we go to the call, and this woman who shows up on the other line, on the other side of the Zoom call, I'm like, that's not the same person.
it wasn't her.
And I'm like, you and I are just kind of like, I mean, we went with it because, right,
Like,
stuff happens. You're
hey.
just like, oh, yes, it's so good to see you, And I'm like, I don't know if did we log into the wrong person? No, no.
Mo misstocked. She
I,
misstocked.
and I listened to podcasts that I normally wouldn't listen to, and it was like, you know, whatever. But, but I listened to it on 2 times speed because I wanted to, just get a feel
Which
for
is
the
us at a
words.
normal pace.
Oh yeah, I read blogs on this woman. I knew what she was into. It was not goat yoga, but it was yoga, and I listened to the podcast, mindfulness, blah blah blah. I could pick
It
her
was
out of a lineup.
good
Yeah,
opportunity.
wrong person. So
Totally wrong person.
yeah, but but it ended up being. I think you and Holly had a nice connection, and it was
Yes, we did.
just
We
a lovely person, and I love being in touch with her now too because she's very active on Facebook. So it's nice to keep up what's going on with her too. And so anyway.
there's so many wonderful people, and when we breeze by and we've got our mind on just our stuff, we miss those opportunities to find out how cool these people are.
Yeah. Or
And
just on the next thing. We're so busy like
yeah,
next, next, next. Yeah.
I
So
think that's why I'm so passionately extroverted because I just love the connections.
passionately extroverted.
I'm like almost annoyingly extroverted. It's bad. It's like chronic extrovertism. So,
Better than
oxymoron. That's the word. That's what we were trying to think of.
wow, nice. Hey, you guys remember that thing we were talking about 25 minutes ago? Oxymoron.
Jumbo
Sounds like
shrimp.
a cleaning product.
That's what it is, though.
You know, when I clean my glasses, I use a nice dose of oxymoron.
You oxymoron.
You know who's an oxymoron? Your mom. I'm just joking.
Your
She's
mom's an
lovely.
onomatopoeia, so there.
She did. I did her laundry though because of that, so it's good. Depends.
I get to see my mom in about a week and a half. I'm very
Oh,
excited.
nice. Good. I
Yeah,
see my mom tomorrow.
you do. We love our moms.
Yay, moms.
Moms. Shout out if you love your mom. Tell
Woohoo!
your mom.
Wait, all the people who are quiet, like, sorry. Yeah.
So I really do. Just kidding.
Go make a full stop moment with your moms. That's what you need
That's
to do.
right. That's
Call your mother.
call your mother right
Yeah.
now. Did you, sorry, complete change of subject, which won't be shocking, but have
Shocker.
you seen that Melissa McCarthy Genie movie?
Mm-mm.
So I think I started watching it last year and I didn't finish it. I watched the whole thing this afternoon after I took my little post church nap.
Sweet.
It is so cute. I love Melissa McCarthy. I think that her
Yeah.
comedic timing. There's there's one scene in particular that I want you to pay attention to, and it's when he's trying to get her to use his smartphone and figure out Spotify, and he'll
Is
go like
she the
this.
genie or she has a genie?
She's a genie.
Okay.
But it's just her timing and her physicality is just so funny.
Awesome.
So anyway, that's your assignment is to watch Genie with
Got it.
Melissa McCarthy.
Is,
It's
is
really
that what it's called as genie?
yes,
Okay.
it's on
Got it.
Disney Plus. So
Oh, yeah, I don't have Disney Plus because I wanted to watch the Taylor Swift thing too.
log into mine.
Okay.
I mean, get your
I
own.
mean, get your own damn Disney Plus, you
I thought you had
oxymoron.
logged into mine.
Huh?
All right, we'll take care of this after we get off the call.
Sorry,
Raise
Disney.
your hand if you're logged into anybody else's.
Oh, good Lord. I got someone else's Netflix, someone else has our
I'm
Hulu.
on my sister's Peacock. I'm on it's Josh's Hulu.
I think I might be on your sister's Peacock too. That was a
I
weird
think
sentence.
you are on my sister's Peacock. Anyway,
Yay.
so
Okay.
that's
Have a great
that's
week.
go out and pay attention to perfect moments. And when you find those perfect moments, experience the full stop. You're going to be out there shopping. It's going to be a little crazy this week, last full week before Christmas, everybody. And look for people who are making other people feel schwacked. They are the real MVPs of the season.
Yep.
And while you're at it, even if nobody realizes it, you go out there and make people feel schwacked too. I'm being kind of bossy.
Yep. Well,
Teacher voice.
also not surprising.
Sometimes I watch our videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so bossy. But then you're
I feel like that every video. Yeah.
misbehave though. So
What?
you bring it on yourself.
Mo misbehaving is an oxymoron.
Did you see the video I texted you yesterday? Did you see the video I reposted about us trying to make a advertisement for our Christmas show at Manor Mill?
I did. We literally until 3 o'clock this morning have had a house full of people. I have not had a chance to watch it, but I just
so funny. I
think
love
you
a
should
good
disclose
blooper
the
video.
pictures.
I love our blooper videos. And we're excited because we just had, I think we mentioned this last time, we just had our Valentine's Day shenanigans. Nope, we just had our Thanksgiving shenanigans show. And we're getting ready to do some Valentine's Day shenanigans variety show stuff
Yes.
in February.
We just need a venue and an audience.
We do. I am also playing for my first bar mitzvah in February. So I'm very excited about that.
How many bar mitzvahs are you supposed to have?
No, I'm playing for the first time for somebody's bar mitzvah.
Oh, you've played before.
Not for a bar mitzvah.
Oh, so it's your first bar mitzvah?
You didn't say it right. It's bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah. Bar
V.
mitzvah.
Do you know it's a V? I thought it had an F, but it's a V.
Well, I thought the V was
So it's
silent,
my
but
former student Jackson and I have some good stories about Jackson. But his parents said, Jackson, what do you want Miss Katie to play at your bar mitzvah? And he said, piano sonatas. So I'm going to be playing a bunch of piano sonatas, but I
is
did
that like Pachelbel and Cannon or Cannon and D or Cannon at Fort McHenry? I don't know which. and the
All right,
rocket sprinkling.
clearly our train has gone off the rails. So go experience the full stop, schwack people, enjoy the holidays. Don't gloss over those perfect moments.
Awesome. And we'll see you next week, I think, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll
And
see
if
you.
you want a copy of the Full Stop Manifesto, email us. Connect
Drop
at
the
Epic
word
MCs.
manifesto plug.
Type oxymoron in the comments. Don't
Type
forget
an
the oxy.
oxymoron in the comments. All right, everybody.
Have a great one.
Happy
Bye.
holidays. Bye.
Bye.